see her in the back of my mind all the time. I could feel her like I'm burning life like a sun. Every time I thought I think to myself and I slip away. I see her. What's up, Goblin? Back of my mind all the time. Mm. Hello. Hello. Oh, my ears. All right, so good day. Good day. I've begun writing my novel, my light novel. Okay, I've begun writing my light novel, so that's where we're at right now. We're gonna read the first parts because I need help. I can't write. To keep it a stack and a bean with you, I'm not a good writer. Just gonna keep it a stack with you. I'm not a good writer. I am live. So we're gonna wait for a few people to get in here, and we're going to go over the light novel. I'm not very good at writing, not at all. I am just not the best at writing. I haven't written a story before. Thanks for following. I appreciate that. I just never written a story before. That's my biggest thing. I've never just sat down and begun typing. So I'm using the grammar rules that I know, which sucks. And I've done plays before, so I'm writing this partially as if it's a play. It's not fiction for sure. It's not. Well, actually, it is fiction. It's fiction. It's not. It's slightly reality, but not really. There's not deeply fantastical elements. It's part way that way. I suck. So humble. What's up, Science Code Creations? So we're gonna read through my nose. Oh my god. I'm gonna read through the beginning parts, and you give me the getting a story out. Worry about grammar when you're proofreading. Have someone proofread it for you. We'll get to it. Feels like you're at a good point. Yeah, we're gonna get through. Hold on. Probably. It's called Blackheart. It's a story about a space dictator. Sounds typical. Where are your sunglasses? You're right. Well, I'm reading, so it's hard to read with sunglasses. To be quite honest with you, it's incredibly difficult to read with sunglasses. Have you ever tried reading with sunglasses? Very difficult. To be quite real with you, usually I put my sunglasses on because people say I look tired all the time. So it's very difficult to read with sunglasses. Which is why I find it so funny. People are always tell me, dude, I can tell you're reading a script. How? How do you read in sunglasses? Lots of storyboard, character designs, and eventually animation. It's a lot of fun and very stressful. Not gonna lie, man. The character parts is keeping all the characters. I want to make sure I don't make too many, but I've already dedicated myself to at least 101 characters, which really sucks because I legitimately have to have 101 characters for this story to work. The main character's name is Frank. What kind of music I'm into? I like Polyphia. I hate it. So it's it's a little agitating. It says nine first of all covers solar megastructures, betrayal, and magical powers. That's so much work. Yo, that back layer with the sunglasses. Knowing I'm trying to see what's in front of me, not my own eye. W name. I chose Frank. I needed the most basic, non-distinct, loser ass name, so I chose Frank for the main character. That was my goal. I was thinking of a character that just had the weakest name, sounded like a real pussy, and I was like, Frank seems to be the one. Frank really encapsulates what it means to be an actual coward. That's what I was going for. So I'm gonna read through the opening monologue of how the world setup is. So we'll start with the opening thing. Frank is a sucky name. I'm not gonna lie to anybody. It just sucks. Does the afro make you smart? Makes me dumber. Makes me dumber. I'm thinking of changing it into Nano. Should I? You should stick to your name, I think. Sounds like you pull so many women. You'd be surprised. Is is my mic muted? What? 1 2 1 2. Is it good? Are we good? 1 2. This is good. Oh, it's working now. Interesting. Hold on. Wait a second. Interesting. Hold on. I'll fix that. Hold on. Okay. Does this work? This works, right? This works. Completely muted during screen share. Interesting. What about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear this? Can you hear this? Words. I'm gonna just yes, right now? Cool. Alright. Then it's the scene that's the issue. Okay, thank you. Hold on. Okay. Alright. This works. This works. Okay. Alright. Let's begin reading. In the year 2030, the world bore witness to a place unlike any other, a brutal coliseum of myth and marrow known as the Chain Link Cathedral. What was the purpose of this name? This was not just an arena, this was holy ground. No prayer, no peace. A land, only fists. I gotta fix that. A land for only fists, for blood, for war. In its most distilled and intimate form, it was where men and women came to either be broken or to become legends, and sometimes both in the same night. Without an ounce of exaggeration, it had become the single greatest fighting spectacle to ever grace human history. It doesn't matter what style you fought in. Krav Maga, drunken boxing, Muay Thai, Persian-style shanking with duct-tape knuckles, all were welcome. The Chain Link Cathedral accepted chaos in every dialect, and millions came to see, in person, on streams, through hacked drone feeds and late-night pay-per-view reruns. It was more than sport. It was catharsis. It was humanity remembering it once had canines and claws. Originally, it was nothing more than a lawless pit buried beneath the earth, in the dark corners of abandoned cities and chemical plants. But the MMA Global Association and the Unified World Boxing League saw gold buried in the concrete. They saw something raw, something ancient. So they came down from their thrones in suits and silk ties, and they bought in. The 1,000-odd blood-stained brawlers of the underground, the forgotten, the deranged, the feral were dragged into the limelight. Cameras followed. Sponsorships flooded in. The world had found its new form of violence. And these fighters? These weren't the poster boys with trim beards and choreographed rivalries. These were beasts. Guttural, glorious, unhinged. They carried knockout power so devastating it could shatter mandibles, rupture orbital bones, and rearrange muscle fibers with a single overhand. Some swore punches in the Chain-Link Cathedral didn't just hurt, they rewrote DNA. The arena itself thrived on the hyperviolence, feeding an audience that had grown numb to digital warfare and sanitized news feeds. Here, at last, was something real. The cathedral didn't want perfection. It wanted hatred. The longer the fight dragged on, the more grudge and venom coursed through each class of bone and sinew. The more the crowd roared. Malice was its currency, and no one ever left clean. Bruises were badges. Scars were signatures. If your spine could still twitch, you could enter. If your jaw wasn't wired shut, you could scream your name, and scream they did. There were no weight classes, no belts, no neatly curated records, no gods, only teeth. The only thing that mattered was the will. What mattered was will, the sheer, snarling refusal to fall. That's what the spectators paid for. That's what they worshipped. Some fighters rode in, missing limbs, the bones that had been broken so many times they fused crooked, and they still fought as if a demon had puppeteered them. To the crowd, this wasn't a handicap, it was to be expected. And make no mistake, the Chain-Link Cathedral was not a place you survived. It was a place you gave yourself to, a sacrifice, a sermon, a final confession made in sweats and splinters. The floor was always sick with blood as well as the thick metallic stink of marrow from bones. It stained everything in the air, the ropes, the memory of it all, because in this place, in the holy temple of Havoc, it doesn't matter where you came from, only that you stood up, only that you kept standing. And every time someone collapsed, the crowd didn't boo. They chanted, they wept, they screamed for more. They weren't watching athletes. They were watching gods die on purpose. All right, so I think it sucks. I think it sucks so far. So that's my thought process of where I'm at with the Begonia. I think it sucks. So we're here. That's where we're here. That's where we're at right now. Yeah. Why do we hear boss music? Oh yeah, I could use before GPT. What's up? What happened? Is this story by Chat GPT? Oh no, you said the word because the characters better. Oh, the characters are the characters are right here. The characters are right here. That was just to give the world overview of everything. So the characters get set up kind of later right here. I wrote like 10 pages of dialogue and stuff here. Yeah, because I just want to get people into the world and what's going on of what the cathedral is. Hey there. How long you plan to make your novel? All right, so here goes my plan. Here goes my plan. So far, I have 10 pages, right? The prologue is gonna be probably 80 pages of he's gonna do one fight, and then it's gonna be his like 1494, something around that variety. And I'm gonna establish how the media feels about him, his home, his love interest, who's also a fighter. She has 999 wins. Just gonna keep like establishing that. After I establish all of that, then we're gonna go to his 1500th loss. It's gonna be the important one. 1500th loss. When he gets to his 1500th loss, then that's when the big Rochambeau happens. That's when I'll decide everything else. What's going on, baby? What? You need to go back there? Okay, hold on. 1 second, chat. Be right back.
Now you want me to stay. I've been there for you. Oh, you want me to chase like they usually do. Better call me my name. I'm not over the fool. Oh, your game is your game, but I'm 2 steps up the rule. Checkmate. One time, I'ma tell you one time. I don't like to repeat, I don't like to rewind. Think we need a sunset, I don't wanna revive. Ain't a need to be where you be, see my decline. Conversation gets deep, I hate the incline. Come down to your sense, maybe leave high. From the curve of your hips, I think you'll be fine. Or go deal with it before I reply. Now you want me to stay, I've been there for you. Oh, you want me to chase like they usually do. Call me my name. I'm not Bobo the fool. Oh, your game is your game, but I'm 2 steps up the rule. Checkmate. Slick shit, you must think you big shit, acting like you can do whatever you want. Go around getting into business, front like for real, we can tell what you want. Oh, hit dogs holler and you love collars. Bitch gonna say I'm wrong. I respect honor, but you deserve not us, so this don't gotta take that long. Now you want me to stay, I've been there for you. Oh, you want me to chase like they usually do. Better call me my name. I'm not over the fool. Oh, your game is your game, but I'm 2 steps up the rule. Checkmate. Now you want me to stay, I've been there for you. Oh, you want me to chase like they usually do. Better call me my name. I'm not over the fool. Oh, your game is your game, but I'm 2 steps up the rule.
All right, I'm back. What's going on, guys? What's cracking? So, for the let's just go over the start of everything, right? Just to give my thought process behind everything here. I like to give my thought process here. So, in a lot of light novels I've read, because this is a light novel, so I want to establish. This is just establishing the beginning of the thing. It's a very vague outline of what it is because I prefer to show to not tell. But in a light novel, you have to do a bit more telling than showing, which is interesting. So I have to do that. So it's going to be very interesting to react to Harry. What's going on? So that's going to be a very interesting thing there. I don't know what song that I can't hear the song. I think it's Checkmate, maybe. So that's going to be the thing. I just needed to establish the Chain Link Cathedral a lot more. Not you do have to tell a lot more in a light novel. You do. So that's what it is. So he hired you? Who hired me? Nobody hired me. What's happening? Oh, did you do you know who the 1500 loss is gonna be? Yeah, I already got that. I already figured that out. Did you get something else? Go ahead. Go ahead. Hold on, don't come out yet. Hold on, don't come out. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna disable my camera. Okay, you can come out anytime you want now. So yeah, that's my thought process. Oh, you're gonna put some pants on? Okay. So that's my thought process. A seemingly ordinary teenage boy who is destined to protect the universe from a power-hungry dictator named Jester Hart. Jester seeks 3 souls of power to create all in being a universe. Creator the only person who can put an into it is part of the blood of the souls. I'm kind of curious here. How far have you started writing it? How far are you writing it? How far have you written in it? Like how far are we with the writing so far? How where are we at, brother? Where are we at? And the shadow of the right now. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I've been writing for like a day, 2 days, I think. Okay, so we're just gonna play Expedition 33 playlist. Is there like a playlist? Let me see. Here we go. Okay. All right. So here's here's where we are. So I'm going to start reading. You may follow along. I just want to get your thoughts on where we're at so far. So I'm going to play some background music. All right. We open in on a dimly lit room, glowing amber like a cheap whiskey. The shadows wrap around everything except for the man seated at the desk, short in stature but unmistakably powerful, like a pit bull in a fur coat. His black sunglasses catch the low light just enough to show a glint of calculation beneath. Thick sideburns hang like punctuation marks of a face that hasn't smiled in years, unless he's making a deal. He wears a bowler hat that's far too round for the square shape of his head. A navy tie hanging loosely over a pair of denim overalls, half buttoned for no reason other than aesthetic chaos. A thick, almost offensively expensive cigar smolders between two fingers as he leans back in a worn leather chair that groans under his weight. In one hand, a golden brown waffle glistens with syrup. On the desk in front of him, there's a turkey sandwich, toasted just enough to crackle when bitten, with juicy slices of tomato flipping out the side and a thin stream of mayo oozing from beneath the layers. It's vulgar. It's perfect. He speaks, voice low and serpentine, curling like the smoke from the end of his cigar. So it's settled. You want Alexander to fight Frank? Are you absolutely sure about that? On the other end of the phone, a booming theatrical voice responds with a thunder rolling across the battlefield. Well, I need the respect of the people before anything, don't I? The man grins, sliding the waffle into the sandwich with no hesitation, a culinary war cry emotion, and takes a loud, satisfied bite. Syrup leaks out of the corner of his mouth like blood from a freshly spit lip. He chuckles deep, gravely amused by both the sandwich and a desperation on the other line. All right, I got you, he says, chewing slowly. Can't have an undefeated champion if you can't beat Frank, huh? Exactly, bellows the voice, practically shaking the speaker with his conviction. This is about honor. So this is the start. How'd I get good in dark mode? Nah, kinda. So how's it go so far? Is this good? This will be a VOD for sure. So is this good so far? How are we feeling so far? Where are we at? It's kind of loud. How are we feeling so far? No thoughts? Complete silence. We love to see it. Complete silence. Amazing work. Outstanding. Dialogue is pretty cool. That's good. That's good. How's the descriptions? Are the descriptions too much? Should I lower back on them? What's going on here? Peak, not gonna lie. That's good. We got two goods, two yays. I've been using M dashes a bit more. I use M dashes mostly for emphasis at the starts of most things. I learned M dashes when I was writing, right? When I learned M dashes, I didn't know M dashes were like seen as bad. I didn't know that. A lot of people tell me M dashes are bad. I didn't know that. Any critiques? Any critiques before we continue? Description's cool too. All right, nothing crazy. What's the title? This is called One on One. It's called One on One. Is the name of the book. Thinking when you're reading, was too busy enjoying. I definitely at the end of the series and culinary disaster got me to full laugh. So I like the description of the clothing and the characters. Naturally, getting on. People say that because they're afraid of looking like AI. Ah, I see. Maybe describe the environment more. Maybe. It's okay. If you were listening to this, could you imagine it is the real thing. That's all I really care about. If you were listening to this, could you imagine? Our accent kind of gives a description of the character. When is it gonna be done so can I buy a signed copy? I think I'll be done maybe with the entire story if I really dedicate myself to it. Oh, like next year, January, March, April, May? Next year in May? Next year in May. Probably if I actually dedicate myself to writing this. So there's that. Alright, so we're gonna keep going and see how we feel. We're gonna get introduced to Frank soon, so don't worry. Alright. Like this, please put pictures in your books. I have ADD. I will do my best to hire an artist. Looking for some likes. Their actions gives a good idea of them. That's good. Okay, that's good. Okay. Demetri takes another bite, more deliberate this time, pausing only to tap ash into his overflowing ashtray beside a dusty record player spinning silence. The fight set for Tuesday. There's a beat of silence on the line, the kind that comes before a car crash. Tuesday. As in next week, or the voice is suddenly less thunder and more lightning, sharp, startled, looking for something to strike. No, Demetri says, reaching calmly for a bottle of syrup and drizzling it still atop the still open sandwich monstrosity. Tomorrow, Tuesday as in tomorrow. There is a pause. Then defiant, adrenaline-filled laughter. I mean, sure. You know what, Demetri? My guy is ready. Bring me Frank. The call ends with a beat that echoes too long. The silence that follows is thick, almost holy. Demetri leans back in his chair, the glow of his cigar pulsing like a dying star, and whispers to no one in particular. Bring me Frank, huh? Demetri, promoter, trainer, fixer, dealmaker, is more than just a voice in the smoke. He is the voice behind the voice, the only man who has ever tamed, spoken for, and survived the beast that is Frank, the hellhound of the Chain-Link Cathedral. Demetri exits his office and enters a realm that looks less like a home and more like the dream of a king with too much money and too little shame. Towering stone spires stretch towards the sky outside, and inside lies a labyrinthine estate that marries decadence with absurdity. A castle-like structure carved in ego and financed in violence. The walls are adorned with velvet drapes and golden-framed portraits, most of them of Frank, mid-fight, mid-scream, mid-blood splatter. The floor glistens like polished obsidian. A fountain stands in the center of the grand hall, its opulence blasphemous. A full-body sculpture of Demetri himself, immortalized in bronze, lips puckered, water spouting from his mouth and raining down on a pile of sculpted copper coins. He mutters under his breath, not with anger, but with that distinct exhaustion only certain men earn through years of herding lions. I hope he's in his room today. A maid in black and white lace uniform scrolls past, uptight posture, hairpin, movements robotic. Demetri calls out with familiarity. Hey, Rosey, is Frank in his room? She stops, turns mechanically, and locks eyes with him. Her expression is eerily blank, not hostile, just entirely devoid of feeling. No, he went for a run, she says, voice flat. Then he mentioned he'd be eating with Anna. Demetri rubs his bald head as if he's trying to wring out a thought despite not having a single follicle to assist him. Okay. And where exactly are they eating dinner? Rosie's head tilts slowly left, then slowly right, as though she's physically shaking a dusty thought loose from the back of her skull. Her fingers gently press to her temple, then her chin, calculating. Excellent question, she says. Then with dramatic flair that seems almost unnatural for a usually lifeless face, she adds, astute question, actually. She raises a single finger in the air, like she's summoning the gods of brunch memory, and declares, I remember! Demetri leans forward, eyes wide. Well? Finally, for the first time in perhaps months, Rosie's face shifts, her cheeks soften, her lips twitch into a serene imitation of someone else, clearly mimicking Frank. Her voice takes on a theatrical lift. Demetri knows where I like to eat, so if he asks, tell him, my favorite place to get a midday, morning, Sunday, slightly brisk brunch Tuesday kind of meal. A deep, soul-splitting silence falls across the great hall, broken only by the sound of a butler dusting the already spotless wings of the Demetri fountain. Demetri stares at her blankly, blinking like someone just poured static onto his brain. What in the Samuel and Gomorrah fuck does that mean? He drops to his knees with dramatical flair, clutching his chest as if he'd been struck by the sheer stupidity of it all. This kid is gonna be the death of me. Alright, so that's before. That's before. How are we feeling about the interaction of the maids with Demetri? That's where we're at right now, because we're about to get introduced to Frank. So where are we at right now? Hey, Kitty and the Frozen, what's going on? You like it? That's good. That's good. That's good. Where are we at? Anybody got any other thoughts? We're all good there. Doing good. That's good. Description, motivation so far. That's good. That's good. Let's see, what am I looking for? What am I looking for? Here's the facial reactions much more than I usually get from a good novel. She seems creepy. I loved it. I was saying it was a little too dramatic with the frisbee. I realized I kind of like the too much vibe a lot. I'm really overcompensating what the actual arena mean does. Is she an Alexa? No, she is a person. She's a maid. I wrote down a description of Rosey. I have a description of Rosey. Give me 1 second. I wrote down a description of Rosey because she's an important maid. Oh, nice. Let's get to Tune Out the World. She's just, yeah. New subscribers sounds interesting. Thank you. Let's see if we go to Drive. There we go. Need motivation while I get into the arena. You'll see soon. Why does he keep fighting that game better? Wouldn't he get better incrementally? Oh, he's one of the best. You'll see soon. You'll see soon. I feel, however, at the end with the falling clutching is made me feel intentional and kind of fun in my opinion. So are they very close and know each other sometimes? How it's made and started. X-Men 33 is a really good game. Okay, so I wrote down Rosie's character. Where's she at? Okay, so Rosey is the head servant. She's the cook. She's the cleaner. She's the caregiver. She's 43 years old. She's 5'3". She has graying auburn hair. It's tied in a tight bun. She has soft hazel and heavy with worried line eyes. She has a low and stern voice, but she's very warm when she's speaking to Frank. Rosey is the very first servant Demetri ever hired, back when the winnings started to trickle in and the household needed more grounding. She's been with Frank since he was 11, and in many ways, she's the only person who has ever truly mothered him. She handles everything from cooking to cleaning to training assistance when needed. Rosey isn't loud, but she doesn't need to. When she enters the room, silence follows. Her cooking is legendary. Healing stews, dense rice cakes, bone marrow broths, and recovery shakes that taste like nostalgia. They're really good. They're outstanding. She times meals to coincide Frank's hunger cycles. Sometimes he's walking in the middle of the night to bake when he sleepwalks into the kitchen. She refers to Frank as my boy, and he refers to her with reverence that borders on near religious. If Frank is the soul of the estate, Rosey is his heartbeat. The rest of the servants defer to her, not out of fear but respect, so old that it's woven into the walls. That is Rosey. She's just the main person. She's very robotic towards Demetri because Demetri wastes so much money. That's why she's so robotic about things. No. Frank loses on purpose. She is the mother figure. She's the mother figure. Frank loses on purpose. She's been around for... Because Frank is 21. She's been around for 10 years. So he does nothing but lose. This will make sense. I promise this will make sense as I get more into the story about why he's losing. He gets money because Demetri bets against Frank. That's what he does. That he just bets against Frank's all the time. So there's point totals in the fights. So the more you get hit, the more points the other person gets. Frank just takes the hits. That's what he just takes them. He just gets hit by everything. After I'll explain as it gets more into it, but that's really what happens with Frank. That's why he's the greatest loser. So now I gotta change. Now I gotta change the song. Okay. All right. Okay. Here we are. Okay. While you're writing yours, you should write your story, dude. You should write your story. All right. So, the greatest loser is such a good line. Are you ready for my favorite scene I've ever written so far? This is my favorite scene. He's a good boxer. He's not, technically, he's not a boxer. He's just a fighter. All right, here we go. We open on a stretch of sunlit highway, the kind that seems to shimmer under the weight of summer heat, where tires hum and engines roar, and yet somehow all attention is locked on a single, barefoot figure sprinting faster than the flow of traffic itself. There, tearing down the asphalt like a comet on two legs, is a young, lighter-skinned man with a body carved by discipline and madness. He wears a loose button-up shirt, fluttering violently behind him like a cape of some half-retired hero, his long sweatpants that cling to his lean, muscular frame with each thundering stride. His durag flaps behind him in wild rhythm, tethered chaos crowning the storm. His amber-toned eyes flicker like candlelight during an earthquake. There's a peace in them, but also a trembling danger that never leaves. His hair is a mess, not styled, not tamed, just brutally honest, like bedhead that never apologizes. His face glows with a radiant, toothy smile so pure it feels disarming, almost holy. But the most notable part of him, the thing that people can't stop staring at, is his one arm extending from his left shoulder, but containing three distinct joints like a segmented blade built for impossible torque. The stump on his right side is healed over, not with scar tissue, but seemingly with intent. He wears it like a badge of rebellion, a vow. As he runs with blinding speed, he hears tires screeching, cameras clicking, and the labored breath of four separate film crews hanging out of cars, shouting into mics trying to desperately keep up. They're documenting a ghost chasing a legend, Frank. The man known not just as a fighter, but the very heartbeat of the Chain-Link Cathedral. And right now, he's not in the ring. He's on the open road, slapping windows on passing cars like he's high-fiving the world itself. Each card he slaps lets out a honk of delight. Children gasp in their booster seats. Mothers cheer. Truckers raise fists. And everyone who locks eyes with Frank knows they've just seen something real in a world that's growing faker by the day. He doesn't just pass by traffic. He wakes it up. Then, with a grin so wide it looks like a crescent moon cracked open on his face, Frank bellows out to the sky. All right! That makes 20 laps. My body's earned a meal. And I get to share it with the most powerful girl I know. His voice is so loud it rattles treetops and sends a scatter of birds flapping into the air like feathers from pillow fights. The earth feels it. The air carries it. The sky considers bowing in response. We cut to a whimsical, surreal moment just off the highway. A tiny squirrel deep within the carved-out center of a tree is watching a miniature television and brewing tiny squirrel coffee in a thimble-sized ceramic mug. The rodent is wearing reading glasses. He's had a long morning. Just as the coffee finishes percolating, the thunderclap of Frank's yell reaches the tree, sending out a shockwave so powerful that the squirrel's dainty mug explodes into glittering fragments. Coffee splatters across his tiny vest. He stares at the shattered cup in stunned silence. He sighs, he takes off his glasses, slowly wipes them on his tiny vest, and simply says, "Again?" So that's where we're at right now. That's where we're at. Where we're at right now with Frank's introduction. That is Frank's introduction. He's running on the highway, high-fiving cars. There's a camera crew trying to chase him down. That's where we're at. That is Frank. Very excitable, very high energy, very, very strong man. Very strong man. That's what we got so far. Aura. Aura. Hey, Nashwash, what's going on? Nashwa, what's going on? So that's where we're at with Frank. Any comments on Frank so far? Any thoughts? Saturday Night Anime Studio, just keep returning to the word fun. I just keep returning to the word fun. That's fair. That's fair. It gets really dark, but I appreciate that. Some anthropomorphism. Oh, the squirrel scene was just like, I thought it'd be funny to have a squirrel have his coffee shattered. I don't know. It just seems funny. that Frank yelled so loud that the squirrel's like, this is bullshit. I just think that's funny. I just think that's goofy. It just seems goofy. Light comedy, very light comedy. I want Frank to appear like a Looney Tune. What's going on, Mr. Running? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I just want Frank to appear as a Looney Tune is really what I care about. That's my goal here. To have him appear as a bit of a Looney Tune-esque character. What up, Flunky Sir Knight the Squirrel? It's 1 a.m. for me right now. It's 8:05 p.m. for me right now. You definitely got it. That's beautiful. All right, so I see no critiques there. We're gonna he is in his own made world. Nah, he's just goofy. He's just goofy. He is an aura farmer. He is like he's aura farmed the character. If you want to give a phrase to it, he's goofy. He's a goofy kind of guy. He's a goofy kind of guy. All right. Theros is awesome. I'm just a guy. What's I about to do? I was about to do something. Hold on. One Piece inspiration? No, not really a One Piece inspiration, realistically. In the old Street Fighter cartoon? M. Bison. There's something important about it. Oh, yeah. Alright, so he is now about to meet at the restaurant to go on his dinner with the girl, Anna. So we're going to go here. All right. Frank leaps from the highway onto the back of moving pickup trucks with the grace of a wild animal without breaking stride. He begins to car hop, bounding across truck beds, sedans, and the roofs of rattling Jeeps as civilians cheer and grasp from inside their vehicles as if they're watching an Olympic sport no one trained for. And where is this one-armed legend headed? Nowhere less than his favorite place on earth. The Soul Taco Dragon. The sign is unmistakable. A Chinese dragon, long and serpentine. It's long and serpentine. Is wearing a sombrero too big for his head, using 2 fried chickens as maracas. Beneath it, a neon cursive glowing through flickering static. The tagline reads, "Fusion is the future of flavor." It's a hybrid of soul food, Mexican cuisine, and Asian comfort dishes. A restaurant that doesn't care for traditions, only tastes. The street is on a torn and tired, cracked concrete, boarded up buildings. The street is torn and tired, cracked concrete, boarded up buildings, and graffiti layered walls line both sides of the block. It's not gentrified, it's not curated, it's real. The kind of place that smells like deep fried dreams and burnt hope, and it still makes you feel like home. Inside we see 3 men. The first, a ridiculously attractive man with sharp cheekbones and glossy black hair. Looks like a K-pop idol who got tired of the stage and chose spice instead. The second, a massive black man with a dad-like aura, bald head, full beard, and arms thicker than beer kegs. Radiates comfort and discipline all at once. And in the kitchen, wielding a cleaver like a samurai's final descendant, stands a broad-shouldered Mexican man whose immaculate hair looks like it was shaped by the gods of grooming. The bell above the door jingles politely as Frank enters. He opens his arms like a Shakespearean actor announcing his entrance to a feast. "Greetings and salutations, my beloved people." Before he can finish, a chicken wing breaded in crushed tortilla chips soars through the air and smacks him directly in the mouth, which he catches without blinking, chewing joyfully. "You lost again. I lost $20,000 on you," screams the K-pop level handsome man, Liu Bei. His kindness evaporated into thunderous rage. His fists clench. Frank tries to explain. "But Liu Bei, listen, Suddenly, he's lifted from behind in a surprise bear hug that turns into a devastating German suplex, crushing his skull into the floor. Oh, what's this? That's fine. Crushing his skull into the tile floor. "I lost 50,000 on you," roars the dad-bodied black man. His love turned to fury. Frank, completely unfazed, rises with a dazed smile and says to himself, "Oh, a nice hug." Before he can even regain his footing, a flying drop kick from across the room lands square in his chest, delivered by the furious Mexican chef who yells, "I lost $100,000! Frank doesn't flinch, doesn't stagger, doesn't even stop smiling. With his teeth bleeding, his short turn, and one of his eyes twitching from impact, he stands tall, beaming like he just got gifted a puppy. Outstanding work. I can feel your hard work paying off. You guys are actually listening to my lessons. All three of them, bruised in pride, rage bubbling in their guts, shout in unison. The lessons of being a loser? Frank throws his head back and laughs with joy so sincere, confuses the laws of emotions. That's right. There is no greater joy than failure. A silence floods the restaurant like a heavy fog. The three men look at each other, then back at Frank. And for a moment, in absolute synchronicity, they all think the same thing. What a weirdo. All right. Where are we at with the restaurant? Where are we at so far? How are we feeling about the restaurant? Most just fight with fists, but there are some cheaters. Hey, have a good time. I'm gonna say, do what you're doing. I love you as you're a real one. Thank you so much, Philosopher. I appreciate that. This is gonna be a read? Yeah. What's the book about? I just got here. The story is called One on One. It follows the story of Frank, the man who has lost 1,500 times. He has lost so many times he is known as the world's greatest loser. Because of this, he has become the lifeblood of the economy. He has never been knocked out, never submitted. He has only lost by points, all on purpose. He's not throwing fights, he's just trying to learn lessons. Can you read his love? This is awesome. Thank you. Is it real world or more like cyberpunk? There are some cyberpunk elements where there are cybernetics and things of that variety. The world building isn't all explained at once. It comes in increments, so you have to learn. Sounds good. Also, they got a lot of money, or inflation hit it hard. They got a lot of money because Frank orders so much food. So he would get a new arm at 1,500? No. He would not get... It's very important that he only has one arms. I'm doing great, Galactic Bounty Hunter. He's just gonna keep it. Nah, you're good. The game he's in is pretty fun to follow so far. The genre he's in, Frank doesn't understand the genre he is. You're not wrong. Imagine if you put a Looney Tune in Baki. That's what it's like. Frank is put a Looney Tune in Baki the Grappler, and that's Frank. That's what's going on. It's really cool. Will you make it? Yeah, 100%. I will describe the dishes in immaculate detail. I love describing things. So that's what I'm doing. Some book and life learning and growing on the way. It's really fun. So now that we've gotten that part, we got the food. We're at the Soul Taco Dragon. Now we're gonna get to. I don't have much left that I wrote. So that's where we're at right now. So we're at Anna now. I got like 4 more pages. In the corner of the restaurant, nestled beneath a flickering neon sign that hummed like a cicada at dusk, sat a woman whose presence demanded reverence without ever raising her voice. She had a slightly downward sloped nose, fair skin with a porcelain sheen kissed by the sun and scars, and narrow fox-like eyes that darted like a predator's. Watchful, calculating, always measuring, her upper teeth were slightly pronounced, giving her resting expression an edge of intensity, as if she were perpetually biting down on a thought too dangerous to say aloud. Her hair was cut in a low pixie style, sharp at the edges, practical and defiant. A rejection of frills. Her arms were lightly muscular, not bulky, but toned, like a statue, carved by someone who respected utility over vanity. She was androgynous in silhouette, a wide, powerful back and long, sinewy legs like a sprinter, but undeniably feminine in motion, a kind of elegant menace that made lesser men sit straighter in their chairs without knowing why. She wore short shorts and a plain black top, her biceps decorated with faint bruises and wrapped in chinchin. Her earrings, however, were ornate, Aztec in design, made of beaten bronze, with tiny jade inlays that simmered every time she tilted her head. Though she stood a full head shorter than the men around her, her authority filled the room like smoke. You could choke on it if you weren't careful. Liu Bei, Marcus, Santos, she said flatly, barely looking up from her phone. It's been 15 minutes since I ordered the Cajun dumplings. The temperature in the restaurant dropped 5 degrees as the 3 men flinched simultaneously like schoolboys caught sneaking candy in the back of class. Their postures snapped upright, tension cracking in the air like wet wood on fire. Sorry, ma'am. They barked in trembling unison. Frank, who had been glowing with cheer just moments before, approached slowly, his usual brightness dimmed to a gentle hue of reverence. There was a rare somberness to him now, like a dog realizing he tracked mud into the house. Anna, he said, soft and sincere. I'm so glad to see you. The Cajun dumplings. Brilliant choice, really. I saw your fight last week. You broke all of her metatarsals. That's going to take a while to recover from. My favorite part, though, was when you landed that jab clean to the solar plexus. You could see the exact moment she lost control of her breathing. It was cathartic in 1493. Anna interrupted, standing now. Her shadow swallowed the floor between them. Her voice was ice dripped in acid. Frank blinked. Huh? You've lost 1,493 times, Frank, she said, enunciating each syllable sharp and distinct. A pause. Frank's face lit up like a birthday cake. Yes, I did. Did you catch the latest one? Anna didn't miss a beat. I don't watch losers. Frank didn't flinch, didn't frown. His smile stayed glued to his face as if it had been carved into his skull. That makes sense, he nodded earnestly. Since you're the undefeated champion. Anna is the only woman in Chain Link Cathedral history to remain completely undefeated. 993 consecutive wins. Not a draw, not a loss, not a moment of hesitation in a sport built entirely on violence and pain. She is known around the world as La Sombra Sagrada, the Sacred Shadow, a title whispered with either awe or envy depending on who's bleeding. Her style is an unholy fusion of Muay Thai, boxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Shilam, and Capoeira, blended into a devastating dance of technique and brutality that she refers to as El Puño Solar, the solar fist. Because as she puts it, I hit like noon. When she strikes, it is with the unrelenting glare of the sun at the highest, when there's no shadow to run and no shade to hide under. She sits back down, elbows on the table, voice calm, but charged with intent. You have to start winning, Frank. If you keep losing, you'll be remembered as the world's biggest loser. And no one remembers losers. Frank doesn't flinch. His smile remains soft, even tender, like he's been told a beautiful lie. Yes, they do. Anna's tone sharpens. Who came second to Usain Bolt? The room falls silent. A shoulder machine wheezes in the background somewhere. A chair creaks under the weight of tension. What about Michael Phelps? Simone Biles? Tell me, who's the second richest man in the world? Frank doesn't answer. He's still smiling, but it's quieter now. Like it's been folded inward, not broken, but reflective. He looks at the table and slowly raises his head to meet her. Then I'll be the world's greatest right-hand man, he says with reverence before glancing down on his body where a right arm should be but isn't. He chuckles lightly and adds, or I guess the greatest left-hand man. So that's where we're at right now. Boom. How are we at? How do we feel about Anna? How do we feel about Frank and Anna so far? How are we feeling? You clean up, she said, spots, but this reminds me of older novels. Is he ambidextrous? For a more feminine touch, if you want respect. I like to go for Sagrada because it means the sacred shadow. There's a reason by her fighting style. Oh yeah, she is the complete opposite. She is she's super serious. She is not stern. Probably she's just very serious. She loves winning. She's near the polar opposite of Frank. She's serious to a T, like just disgustingly serious. She's the only person that can punch Frank and not feel like mince pain in her knuckles. You will get a lot of lighthearted moments with Anna and Frank. It's a centerfold of that. There's a sternness to her, but she, I guess tsundere would be more of it. Would be a good way to phrase it. Oh yeah, Frank and her are like locked in. Keeping you sane. I'm happy it's been keeping you sane. I'm happy I'm helping you out in some way. That's good. Just from the tone. Yeah, she's cold. She's a cold person. She's very cold. So if it wasn't broke, it's okay. You don't gotta sell to me, bro. You're okay. I'm just happy you're here. It's okay. You don't gotta give me money. If I take some food ideas from you, you're more than welcome to take some food ideas from me. Go crazy. Opposites attract. That's the thing I wanted to point out. Opposites do attract, and I'm not gonna expose the reason why 1500 is the exact reason, but there's a reason in Anna why 1500 is the number that Frank chooses. Hey, what's up? Story sounds good. Good. May I guess or no? You can guess. Yeah, you can guess Dark Blade. You see a woman not being a manic pixie dream girl. I'm not gonna. I can't write manic pixie dream girls. I'm writing a woman that is stern and direct and knows what she wants. That's what I care about because it's important to write a woman like that who it speaks with reverence. So that's my goal so far. It is. It took me a while to get to this point. I want to point this out. What's so about the significance of the history of her life? No, it's not at all. Not at all. No, not even close. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. It's actually. It's such a stupid. It's such a stupid reason. It's such a. It's such a dumb reason. But I don't want to give it away. But it's really funny. It's not even great. Survive in dignity. That sounds like something I said. Is this a cool number though? It's very important. All right. So we're at the last stretch of the rough job I have. So it's okay. It's understandable. That makes sense. It's not that deep. I want to point this out. Not that deep. Not that deep. Okay. Final stretch. Anna laughs heartily, and soon the restaurant is filled with the warm, chaotic harmony of laughter. Liu Bei, Marcus, and Santos join in, their bellows echoing off the cracked walls and greasy tiles, while Frank smiles with a calm joy, the kind that comes from being seen, even in ridicule. Just as the laughter begins to taper off, Frank's phone rings, buzzing violently against the taco-smeared tabletop. He picks it up, still grinning. This is Frank. He doesn't even get to finish before a raspy, impatient voice explodes through the speaker. Yeah, no, dingus. Where are you? Frank, unbothered, replies with a serene tone. My favorite place to get a midday morning, slightly brisk brunch Tuesday kind of meal. A beat of silence, that is then a furious bark. What the hell does that even mean? Dimitri's voice practically short circuits the line. Frank, looking at Anna, calmly responds, It means I'm on a date. Anna, looking up from her plate, mutters dryly, Not a date. Demetri doesn't even acknowledge her correction. You've got a fight tomorrow against Alexander. 9 p.m. sharp. You're the main event. Frank, with the emotional range of a man hearing it's laundry day, replies, Oh, why can't we fight today? Demetri wheezes a laugh because not everyone is a superhuman fight-hungry maniac like you, all right? Frank nods solemnly, then mumbles to himself, I am pretty hungry. Demetri sighs. Already set up the promotion, arena sold out, you know the usual spiel, make a Me Too video, stir up some drama, say you hate his guts or whatever, get the public frothing, and just so you know, I'm taking all the money in. Betting against me. Frank interrupts with a chuckle. Demetri cackles like a gremlin lighting fireworks. You already know the deal, buddy. I'll see you at 8 p.m. tomorrow to drive you to the fight. Don't die before then. Frank, overwhelmed with joy, smiles and slams his phone on the table with such force it shatters into 3 pieces. I get to battle in the pit again, he shouts, sending a nearby chair toppling. A pause. He stares at the wreckage of his phone. He pats his pockets. Realization draws. He turns to Anna sheepishly. Hey, Anna, can you... Oh, sorry. Realization draws. I use tap pay. He turns to Anna sheepishly. Hey, Anna, can you cover my meal? Anna looks him directly in the eyes, blinking slowly. Were you born stupid, or is this from all the blows to the head? Frank just laughs, and the rest of the evening is soaked in fried joy, peppered sarcasm. He's surrounded by the people who he loves, warriors and misfits, who to him are more than friends. They are family, and tomorrow he will fight, not to win, not to prove anything, just because he gets to. All right, that's all I wrote. That's everything I wrote. That's all I got. That's it. That's all I got. That's everything I wrote. That is, besides the character sheets, that's what I got. Anna and Frank will fight. Damn. I will give you a spoiler. They're not going to fight. I will tell you that they are not going to fight. You came here at the end. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I will explain Frank though. I will explain Frank. Frank's official title is the Hellhound of the Cathedral. The reason he's the Hellhound is because you gotta beat Frank if you want to be worth a damn. There are 101 people that have actually not been mentally broken by Frank. They are the 101st. They are important. The 101st are the established true fights of the series. Everything else is just preamble to the 101st fights. The 101st fights are when the story actually picks up. What's up, Broski? So, Frank, one more time. I'm still describing him. Frank's height is 5'10". He's 168 pounds. He's 21 years old. Anybody can get into the arena. It doesn't matter. There's three divisions. The junior, the regulars, where people fight Frank, and then they go to the 101st division. The 101st fight each other and just continually fight each other after they beat Frank. Frank established the third division because people have to beat Frank to get to the 101st. You can just join. You can just sign up. Doesn't even. But you just sign a waiver. You can just get in there. That you can sign up. So his style is orthodox. It's modified for single arm combat. Please note he has 3 joints. I wanna point out. He has 3 joints. He has no right arm and 3 joints. So it's very long. He wraps his arm around people and counters like oddly. He can wrap his arm around people and hit them in the jaw. He's very specific. So this is what I wrote about Frank. We talking anime? I'm writing a story. I'm writing a light novel. I'm writing a very long light novel. So I'm going to read what I wrote. Frank is not an imposing figure in the traditional sense. He's lean, weary, and deceptively average in stature. At 5'10", 168 pounds, he appears almost unremarkable until you see him move. Then and only then do you realize the depth of his unnatural resilience tucked beneath the battered flesh. His body is riddled with scars, a brutal constellation that maps every loss he endured. Jawline fissures, old cracked ribs, shoulder gashes, shins pockmarked like cratered stone, and a long, ugly seam along his collarbone where a clavicle once broke and healed without proper medical attention. He has no tattoos. None. Just scars. He doesn't want any ink on his body in any capacity. But what every fighter notices, is the lack of a right arm. Frank has no right arm. It was never there to begin with. A birth defect. Some call it a divine sign. No one really knows. Not even Demetri, who found him crying. He found him as a crying infant in a dumpster behind a rundown boxing gym in the industrial district of Outer Street. But what he does have is a left arm with 3 joints, a biological anomaly. His left arm extends from his shoulder like a coiled serpent with an additional elbow in the mid-forearm. It allows for unnatural parries, bewildering angles, and a style so singular that no opponent could ever truly solve it. Some call it a mutation, others call it divine irony. Frank calls it his dance partner. The left arm isn't flashy. There's no chrome, no implants, no glowing biotech. It's flesh, pure and uncanny. The joints clicking softly like prayer beads as he moves. He's learned to use it like a grappling hook, a whip, a shield, a flail, and a conductor's wand. And when he wraps it around your neck, the third joint bends in a way that makes even champions see angels. Frank has never once been knocked out. Not once in 1,500 fights. He has never been submitted. He has never stopped moving forward. They call him the Hellhound of the Cathedral, not because he wins, because he keeps getting up and he guards. What's up, baby? What's up?
I hate the way DoorDash works. I hate the Uber drivers. I hate the DoorDash drivers. I hate them. I hate it.
What'd they do?
I hate this place.
What'd they do?
I hate being alive.
What'd they do?
So some dude barely speaks English. He's out there and he's like, can you come all the way down here? There's nowhere to park, and I don't want to leave my car.
Well. Light novel. What deodorant does Frank wear? He does not wear deodorant. He prefers his natural musk. All right, so back to Frank. I'm happy you enjoyed Frank a lot. That's really I enjoyed writing him. His face is expressive, full of paradoxes. He grins with messy teeth, eyes wide, soft like a child, and yet in the ring, something ancient peers out of him. He doesn't walk into the arena, he descends onto it, joyfully, reverently, like a pilgrim stepping into a temple that shaped him, the same temple that tried to kill him 1,500 times and failed. When he fights, he doesn't taunt anyone. He laughs. He quotes poetry. He speaks to people. He compliments them. He smiles like a demon who learned empathy. That smile, oddly gentle, breaks fighters harder than any punch. Frank's Frank lives simply. He eats like a king, thanks to Rosie, of course. Sleeps like a dog curled in a storm rain. And when he's not fighting, he's in a broken neighborhood, helping kids, sparring with gangsters, rebuilding broken bikes or hearts or teeth. They don't cheer him because he wins. They cheer him because he keeps standing. He's not me. He's not me. He's not me. The strangest thing about Frank, beyond the arm, is his healing. Even in a world where technology can rebuild ligaments in hours, Frank heals faster than anyone else ever has. Even before he had access to those advancements, as a kid in the Chain Link Junior Division, he once took a bat to his ribs during a mugging and fought the very next day with no visible damage. At age 11, he tore 3 muscles in his thigh and was running laps 2 days later. Now, with post-fight tech, IV drips, stem cell sprays, and smart thread sutures, he's nearly unstoppable in recovery. Broken noses reset overnight, cracked ribs click back into place, deep bruising fades before the morning bell. There are stories, unconfirmed, that Frank once walked out of surgery midway because he felt restless. But he still feels it all. Plot twist, little people don't know this, he actually feels more pain than the average person. Because he, for some reason, feels deeper than anybody else he's ever met. And so this is the overall mission. The missing arm? Nothing. No. He just was born with it. Frank is smelly. What's your reference for Frank? I don't have a reference for him. I just wanted to draw a guy with a 3 attached kind of arm. Light novel. Light. Opposite of heavy, light. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. I put life novel. Whoops. Oh, well. I guess I'll fix that later. Didn't mean to put life novel. I misspelled it. That's on me. That's on me. I just spelled it wrong. That's on me. Oh, well. Haha. That's on me. Life novel. Whoops. So the overall mission of Frank, and this is the overall mission, when he gets to 1,500 losses, he wants to fight all 101 fighters who beat him and continued and didn't get mentally broken. He is not trying to punish them, but he's trying to bring them into the light with him. He's not here to climb. He wants to flatten the entire arena. Frank's goal is he calls it equalization through agony. He calls himself the final loser turned first human. He never trained traditionally. He learned from losing. Losing was his sensei. He never sparred. He bled for lessons. Every failed dodge, every cracked rib was a semester of knowledge. While others trained to fight, Frank trained to exist outside of the worst scenario. He only has one name, Frank. A name Demetri gave him after his own father. Plain, honest, and forgettable. But now it's become a gospel. So that's where we're at. What was his first loss? How he lost his arm? He was born with one arm that had 3 ligaments. He was born with it. That's just how he was born. I'm not going to reveal why he has one arm. There is a reason, but I'm not going to reveal that until I get past the 101st. I got to get past the 101st before I get into the arm stuff. That's way more important. The 101st is like the first big thing. That's what I got to get through. I get through the 101st, I got to get it. Yeah, he didn't lose his arm in his first fight. No, he just has 3 joints for some odd reason. That is a biological anomaly. You ever see see my boom arm? You see my boom arm? Like it's like you ever see a boom arm? It's kind of like that. Like you see the elbow, and up here will be another elbow, and that will go into another arm. Like it would just go into it. So that's what it is. That's how it operates. I was thinking of giving him tattoos on his back of everybody that want to defeat him, of how he fights. No, I haven't gotten to that. I've only written a sequel. Oh, I'm not gonna lie to you here. It's how do I describe this? This is gonna get stupid. When I say I have a vision already and I know the ending, I already know the ending. Like I know the ending. I know the end of this. I know where this ends. Been only here for 5 minutes. I'm happy you enjoy it. I know where this ends. I know where this ends. I know where this ends. The hardest part for me is that there are going to be undercard fights. They're going to be undercard fights. So I've written a few undercard fights. So here goes one undercard fighter. This is Rebecca Smith. She's the Cookie Crusher. She's a scout leader and a former amateur boxer. She's 5'10", 168 pounds. She's 41 years old. She's American. And she boxes with reinforced steel wraps and an intense focus on core-generated strikes. Rebecca wears a modest black sports bra and matte brown athletic shoes, a muted functional outfit hiding monstrous power. Her arms are slightly scarred from years of open glove sparring. Her gloves are custom titanium threaded wrapped, faintly humming with kinetic feedback to absorb and reduce force. Her most striking feature are her legs. They're vascular, carved from decades of trailblazing marathons with her scouts. Titanium implants in her shins from an old car crash make her kicks and pivots almost seismic. Hair is in a short bun. She has gray streaks proudly on display. Her eyes post-incident, they were replaced with bio-optics, subtle glowing green under intense light, but mostly covered with thin tactile glasses. She is stoic and maternal, and she fights against the pondering drama llama, who is a streamer that loves beating women. So yeah. Why is Frank how he is personality-wise? Yeah, he's mentally broken. Mentally broken. Like he's mentally broken. The way Frank views the world is cartoon. He views it as fun. He's very serious with how he operates. He's very serious about his goals. But because he has so much trauma and destruction, he never stops smiling because he never wants anybody to feel sad around him. He started off life at the lowest part of life. Like he started off in garbage. So he wants to make sure everybody is happy all the time. That's why he's so overjoyed and never like destroyed mentally. He loves that. And because he's been through the horrifying part of the world, he puts that onto people. That's what he does. That's his life. The Pondering Drama Llama is a streamer. He's known as the equal opportunity ass whooper. He fights against a lot of women. Like that's his big thing. He fights against a lot of women. He's a former Taekwondo practitioner. He's a full-time streamer. He's 6'5", but he was originally 5'2", but then got limb lengthening surgery. So that's what happened. His weight is 210 pounds. He's American, but claims, when are you going to start writing it for real? I have gotten pretty far. I'll show you. Hold on. I've gotten pretty far here. Like I have this written out. This written out. And by tonight I'm gonna spend all day writing the prologue. I'm gonna spend all day writing the prologue. That's my goal. 5'2" to 6'5" is crazy. And that's the Pondering Drama Llama. That's what he is. So he has bleached blonde hair, which is clearly dyed. He wears neon contact lenses that glow blue despite his natural eye color being brown. His jawline is sculpted with dermal implants and jaw fillers. He dons a light and iridescent spandex suit with glitchy pixelated llama print patterns. Over the spandex, a ridiculous fur-lined cape stitched with QR cards that link to his merch store. He carries brass knuckles engraved with Twitch emotes. At his waist His pouches containing illegal gadgets, like he has an acid packet that he's gonna use against Rebecca. He's gonna look like he's made of string. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, yeah. Did you say 5'10"? No, he went from 5'2", 5'2", 5'2" to 6'5". He was 5'2", 5'2". That's what happened there. 5'2", 5'2". He moves like a Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic is the only way I could describe it. I gotta figure out what a better way to say that. I'm gonna say glitchy probably, but he moves like a Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic. He's absolutely insufferable. He's cocky. He's post ironic to the point of insincerity. He preaches about justice for men's rights and then drops misogynistic one-liners with a grin and a wink. When asked why he fights women, he once said equal rights and lefts, baby. So he treats combat like content. He's constantly trying to go viral, even in the middle of losing consciousness. He loses to Rebecca, is what I'm gonna write. He said after he loses to the Rebecca, he says that was just part of my message through the fight to inspire women. Is feminist performance art, bro. Notable moments: he illegally blinded Rebecca with hidden acid mid vial match. With a hidden vial mid match, was beaten within an inch of his life, but claimed victory in spirit. Lost thousands of sub afterwards, still pretends it was a W. His chat filled with incel trolls and chaotic teams spamming TTS things like "Wow, you lost to a girl," ratio plus no knees. Dramalama.exe has stopped responding. Women are queens until they throw jabs. So that's what we got there. So that's the undercard. That's one of the undercards. I'm gonna have twins fight each other. Probably have twins fight each other. I want to have twins. I want to have one albino twin and one melanism twin fight each other. It wasn't bad for anything Austria. I'm so glad to hear someone else say it. People were like, "They're nothing alike." Do you not know what bizarro means, you dumbass? I like it's crazy. Like people were commenting and are like, "They're not nothing alike." That's what bizarro means. Don't know what to tell you there. Oh, let me see here. I'm reading. Oh, I see. Ah, I think I've messed up. I think people think I'm writing about gods. I see. All right, I gotta figure. I think I accidentally made people think that there's gods in the story of some sort, which is interesting. I feel like I never got the opportunity to. That seems. Hey, what's up, Dusk? In your head when you listen to music? No, I don't. Like in the character cast, that's good. I didn't get God. I think it's because the description of how the description, the beginning part. I think I perhaps probably put gods. I meant I was trying to do it like egos, but I think I messed up. I'll fix that later. That can be fixed later. Man, I gotta figure out. I was gonna get a Kickstarter going for this, but I think I want to write the story first, then work on Kickstarter stuff, or at least like GoFundMe stuff or whatever. So that'd be cool. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. So that's really where I want to get to. There's three stories I want to finish before I die. There's three stories. There's one-on-one. This is the first of the three stories I wanted to get. There's one-on-one. There's humanist. Humanist is something that I really want to write. It's really good. It's because I said where God's come to die. It's a whole thing. It's like a whole thing. I shouldn't have said that. That's on me. I shouldn't have said that. That's on me. It's you guys. You guys were here for the me reading it, which makes a lot more sense. But it's okay. We'll get there later. There's Humanist. Humanist is a story about a kid who starts off in the middle of a shack. He says, "Bye, Dad," and then he goes learn. He learns every single skill in the world. He learns every language, every culinary style, every fighting style, everything. He learns everything. After learning everything, after genuinely learning everything, he then proceeds to become like a mayor and then president, and then he rules the world. And after he rules the world, something amazing happens. So I want to get to that. Good for humans. That's good. Like if you use it that their own misinterpretation. That's fair. That's fair because it's really just guys. Really just guys and gals fighting each other. They're gonna really hate me when I make Frank beat women. That's gonna really suck. They're gonna be like, "Why is Frank hitting women?" They want to fight. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I really don't grasp what you want from me. That's gonna really suck. It is basically 100% speedrun of Earth. Essentially, that's what it is. So I was here for your third story. Were you? Do you know what my third story is? Which you won't tell us? Oh no, it's called Stickball Games. It's called Stickball Games. It's a goofier story, but it's called Stickball Games. You will. It's absurd. It's just an absurdist story. It's Stickball Games. It's really goofy. It's very, very goofy. Also, the movie. Movie? I have a movie idea called Intrusive, where I have a guy do intrusive thoughts. That's about it. Oh, that's all I can think about. I feel like I'm right there. I feel like I'm almost 30. I'm almost 30. I'm almost 30. I might as well just get to writing. I'm almost 30. I'm almost 30. I mean, it would take a lot of effort to get my ideas down. So there's an important aspect to what I'm trying to do with Frank in itself. There's a very important thing I want to do with Frank, and it happens after the cathedral gets destroyed. It's that the most important part of the story for me is after the cathedral gets evaporated. That is really the most important part of what I want to get to. Let's see. Railroad is a website where well majority audiences. Summary. The cathedral is the only place he fights. Yes, the cathedral. It's important that he only fights in the cathedral. Everywhere else, he will gladly just get his ass beat and doesn't care. Like he just doesn't care. Like he just get his ass kicked. Say he's gonna get his ass kicked a lot. I'll just point that out. And you'll see him lose a lot, and he'll reference his earlier losses a lot. But when he starts winning, it will be disgusting. Yeah, I know how it's gonna get destroyed. I want to point this out. So think about it like this, right? Frank lasts all 5 rounds. Most fights will end at round 2 or 3, but Frank lasts the entire time. So he is like advertiser time. He is main cards. He's bets. People know to bet that Frank will lose. And sometimes people bank and hoping Frank wins. And there's a lot of idiots, same people that do the lottery, thinking Frank's going to win this fight. So that's what's going to happen there. If Frank starts winning, it shifts the entire economy. And depending on how fast he wins, too, there's a reason why boxers try to carry out through all rounds because more advertiser time, more viewership, stuff like that. That's why they want to keep it up because it keeps people's attention more. If Frank starts one-shotting people, like just starts one-shotting people, then they lose money fast. They lose money really, really, really fast. Frank has always just gone the distance and has delivered amazing, fun, spirited, goofy fights. He's been goofing in fights, dancing, doing all this stuff, so that's what's going on. Fan of the game, Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens. There's a one shot is crazy. Welcome to Frank. A mirror of the society, that place. It's kind of a mirror. The idea a lot better. That's fair, thank you. I'm happy you see. The more I flesh it out, the more it's gonna make sense. Are you a fan of the game? I don't know if I've played that one. I've played The Force Unleashed. That's what I played. Whoops. I suppose we'll see. I suppose there's someone watching a Frank match and someone who bet it he will win. Just had the idea. You could probably start the prologue from the split with somebody. That's a good idea. That's not a bad idea. What I got so far is just this and the description of what essentially is the match, right? Those are the two things that I got. Those are the two things that I care about. Do I have a publisher? Not even a little bit. I don't. I just started writing today. I don't like basically 2 days ago. Essentially, is when I started writing. Essentially, so like I have like nothing. I've got nothing, dude. I've got nothing. I've got the zero things going on. Actively zero. Actively zero. I have no publisher. I have no help. I'm just writing and praying right now. I don't have anything. I'm like Mary Shelley, but less articulate. I read a lot though, so hopefully if that means anything. I read a lot of light novels. Like I'm reading a lot of light novels. Badass free canvas. Badass free canvas. Oh yeah. Oh no, I just started. Like I had the idea. I got a lot of people were inspiring me. I was like, fine, I'll start writing. So I just started writing like 2 days ago. This is 2 days of work. This 2 days. I think based on what I know now, I can probably get 80 pages done by like Sunday. I could probably get 80 pages done by Sunday. I want to get the entire prologue done. I've not read Wheel of Time. I want to get the entire prologue done, is what I want to do. I want to get the 101st started. If I can get the 101st started, that'd be great. That'd be really fun. That's what I'd prefer to do. That would be really cool. I don't want to make it crazy long. I just want to talk about the main message of this. I my guess is that it's gonna be like 500 pages. All I need like it's like 500 pages maybe like 500 pages. This 500. It's not gonna. It's a light. It's like a light novel, right? It's a light novel. 23. I can get 80 done. I might release an audiobook of this. I might release an audiobook of me reading it so that it will be a lot easier for people to indulge in the story. An audiobook of me just reading it would be fine. I could do that. That would also work. Could probably do an audiobook, which could work. Could do what Overlord did, where they did a web novel and then a light novel, which are two different things. I could start as a web novel and do that. 500 is a light novel? I think so, right? Right? I just want to get to the big. There's a big reason. Big reason I want to get to the end of the 101st. I also think 101st is a tough ass name. Is it not? Oh. Well, that sucks. Is 101st not a tough name? Is that not good? Does that suck? I like it. I think it's a good name. I think it fits my direction of what I want to do. I think it matters. Man, imagine if I was a full-time streamer. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, 101st is the 101st people that made it past Frank. They like, because when Frank fights somebody, he mentally destroys them. Like, mentally, they are broken. I think anything over 200 pages is a regular novel. Is it? Oh. I think light novel is like Overlord. Like, you ever read Overlord? You probably haven't read Overlord. That time I got reincarnated as slime started off as a light novel. Overlord started off as a light novel. A lot of manga start off as light novels, especially isekais. So that's what I mean by light novel. Light novel usually have volumes, parts, things of that variety. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm talking about. That's true. It does depend on who you ask. That is true. After I write everything, I kind of want to get somebody to do the designs for the characters, which would be super cool. That'd be great. Bleach is better than One Piece. Coming from Vastor Lord A775. What are the odds? What are the odds? What are the odds? All right, guys. I'm going to get back to writing. Thank you guys for the thoughts, stuff of that variety. I can post this somewhere. I gotta post this somewhere. I'm gonna post this somewhere. I'm gonna post this somewhere. I'm gonna post this in my Discord. I'm gonna post this first draft in my Discord. So, nice. I'll post this first draft in my Discord so everybody can read it and stuff of that variety. I think that's fair, right? Or I could find a website. I could post this on Tumblr. Does Tumblr have a character limit? Hold on, wait a second. Does Tumblr have a character limit? Can you email it to you? No. You gonna copyright it? I will if I get some money. Let me see. Do I have a thing? Am I logged into Tumblr? I am. Is there a limit on what I can put? There is not. I can just put as much as I want to. I can just, man, I might just post this on Tumblr. Could do Wattpad. There's no, Tumblr doesn't have a thing of it. So I'm gonna post this on Wattpad and Tumblr. That's what I'll do. Wattpad and Tumblr. I might make a subreddit for it too. So there's that. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for checking me out. Appreciate you guys. Check my latest video. If not, that's okay. Doesn't really matter to me. Might release another video later tonight, depending on what I read on Twitter today. Have a lovely day or night.